This semester, I interned at Fiordiluna, a gelateria in the Trastevere neighborhood in Rome. At Fiordiluna, I had the opportunity to learn firsthand what it's like to work in an Italian gelateria. I scooped gelato, interacted with customers, practiced Italian with my coworkers, cleaned, and watched parts of the gelato making process. This video will highlight some of the things I've taken away from my experience at Fiordiluna, including a comparison of Fiordiluna to an American ice cream shop that I worked at. I'll also compare my experience at Fiordiluna to another intern, Caroline's experience, interning at an Italian restaurant, Al Calarello. There are lots of differences between Fiordiluna as an Italian gelateria and the American ice cream shop that I worked at. Lots of aspects, from the number of employees to the work culture, customer interaction, and the flavors and ingredients used at Fiordiluna are different from what I'm used to in the U.S. At the gelateria, I work in front, serving gelato, with one or two other employees, while our boss makes gelato in the back of the shop. These employees don't change, so for the entire semester, I've worked with Alessio, because there are two of them, and Monica, with Noemi as our boss. This is different than I'm used to, because in the U.S., businesses typically have many employees who rotate shifts throughout the week. I was very surprised to learn that I would only have 4 coworkers. Another difference is that at Fiordiluna, even when it gets very busy, there's not a system for taking orders. In the U.S., I'm used to following a set system where one person takes orders, others prepare them, and another person cashes customers out. Instead, at Fiordiluna, the line tends to be unorganized, and we serve customers more or less as they're able to get our attention first. This aligns with the stereotype that we learned about in the internship seminar, that lines tend to be more chaotic in Italy. I've noticed that my coworkers treat customers differently here in Italy than my coworkers in the U.S. do. For example, if a customer takes more than a moment or two to look at the flavors, my coworkers at Fiordiluna will ask them if they're ready or suggest flavors in a very direct way. In the U.S., this would probably be considered a little bit rude, so I think that it's a cultural difference. I've noticed that in situations like this, when my coworkers are shorter with their responses or tell customers what flavors they should be ordering, American customers are more taken aback, whereas Italian customers don't really seem fazed. This leads to my next point, that the customer base at Fiordiluna is very diverse. Some customers are Italian, but it's typical to serve customers from the U.S., England, France, Spain, Germany, and many other parts of the world. There are often many languages spoken at once when the gelateria is filled with customers. My coworkers are used to speaking in English, Spanish, French, and Italian while serving customers. This is so different from the U.S., where employees are only expected to speak English. I've really enjoyed meeting people from different countries for my work at Fiordiluna, and I love that I've been able to practice Italian while learning gelato-related vocabulary and other languages too. The last aspect I want to compare between Fiordiluna and an American ice cream place are the flavors and ingredients used at the gelateria. While Fiordiluna is unique in that it only uses the freshest ingredients and makes everything in very small batches, it's typical for gelaterias and other Italian food businesses to use very fresh ingredients and make everything by hand. For example, my boss Noemi makes the ricotta for the cannoli-flavored gelato and only offers certain fruit flavors like strawberry when the fruit is in season. This is a stark contrast from the ice cream shop I worked at in the U.S., where the ice cream is not made at the shop and the gelatos ranged from a wide variety of year-round flavors that had some artificial ingredients. When I talked to fellow intern Caroline about her experience at Al Calarello, she had a similar reflection about the ingredients and quality of food they use.
Yeah, so the food is really good. I would say they take a lot of pride in the food that they get and the food that they create with the ingredients. I've noticed just in Italy, everything is so much fresher than in the U.S.
How have you found the attitudes of your coworkers?
I would say because everybody's a family, the servers, at least Valerio and Andrea and sometimes Sandro, they're related by blood, so they definitely have a good attitude and they're just there hanging out with their family, making it go.
Yeah.
Which is nice because I try to talk to them as much as I can in Italian, and they kind of welcomed me into their family. Sandro tells me all the time he wishes he had a daughter. Aww. And that he's oh, you're my daughter, it's fine.
That's so cute.
Yeah.
Talking with Caroline, we had similar reflections about our experiences. From our interview, I learned that the environment at Al Colorello is a little bit more relaxed than the atmosphere at Fiordiluna. Maybe in part because it's a family restaurant. Caroline's coworkers are more at ease and outgoing at work than my coworkers at Fiordiluna. However, we've had similar experiences in the food and ingredients being fresher than what we're used to in the US. Overall, I've gained so much from my internship at Fiordiluna. The immersive experience has really taught me what it's like to work in an Italian environment, from communicating with my coworkers to serving customers and helping maintain the gelateria. I've learned about cultural differences, and I've found that there are some things that I prefer about Italian gelato to American ice cream. Overall, I'm so glad that I participated in the internship.